Okay, welcome back. We're looking at how to use Mindomo to build a timeline. In our last video, if you haven't checked it out, we looked at how to change font, colors, move around dates if you want to change your mind about the order of things, and eventually even how to add branches so you can have more information. So check out the past video for that. This video is going to look at how to add visuals like multimedia, pictures, videos, etc. to your mind map. So over here, we'll start with a picture first. So the Grand Tour example is a tour that was taken by the wealthy in Europe. So if I wanted to add something visual here, I would go to this arrow. I want to highlight Europe because that's the picture I'm focusing on, and I'm going to add plus button. I'm going to add an image, okay? And the image, you just choose the URL, or you can upload it from your computer, okay? So beforehand, I have gone onto the internet, and I wanted to show you from experience how finding pictures can sometimes be a bit more challenging for some students than you would think it would be. So if I put here Grand Tour images, you'll notice I'm getting apparently some sort of Prime Amazon film, right? So remember, keywords are really important when we're searching. So Grand Tour Europe is important. Now, a lot of students will just look at the first map they see, take it, right click, and save it, and that's the image they choose. But actually, this can be really problematic because, like, right now you see there's an airplane here. I'm pretty sure in the 1800s there was no airplanes to do the Grand Tour. So I'm very suspicious that this picture, if I visit the website, is not actually really about the history of the Grand Tour of Europe. And sure enough, it is not. It is telling you about a travel opportunity to take a Grand Tour of Europe today using flights. So it's not the traditional route that people took. So how do I get a picture that really reflects what I'm looking for? You got to be careful what search words you're using. So Grand Tour Europe, I'm going to do 18th century, okay? And in this case, I'm looking for a map. Maybe I'm going to use the word tourism. Let's see what happened here. So now at least I'm looking for, and I can even keep the words Grand Tour together by putting quotation marks around it. Bloop. And sure enough, I'm hopefully going to get a better image. Let's do Grand Tour Europe 18th century. Okay, this is a little bit more promising, right? I have people traveling. Okay, this one's kind of a fun picture. Ooh, this one looks good too. Let's take a look at this. Oh, this is a video. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to visit. That's not the greatest image. So many reasons. Oh, here we go. So this looks like an interesting route. I'm going to check it out, visit the page, make sure that it's somewhat credible. Not an England rugby tour. It was a tour of parts of Europe in the 16th to 18th century for tourism. Okay, sweet. This looks like it's actually related to what I'm talking about. I'm now going to take this picture. Now, for me, I personally find it really easier to just save it directly to my computer. Because sometimes I have a hard time with URLs, but you're also welcome to try the URL out if you want. And then whichever one works for you is, great. So you can then add the plus button, put your image in. We'll try the URL first to see if it works. Maybe I'll refresh the page to see. And no, it did not work. So that's okay. So what I would do instead then is, let's delete that. Let's take that out. Okay. And instead, I'm going to just add it directly from my computer because for me, that's a little bit easier. So I'm going to upload it. You can have your own folder on your own desktop or whatever. And there's my grand tour, and boom, now a lot easier to see the image there, okay? And if I want to see it bigger, I can actually click on it and I can go right into the image. So there we go, oops. Okay, now let's say I want to add a video, which is pretty cool. Yes, you can add videos. So Industrial Revolution, I ahead of time had gone to YouTube already, and I was interested in a video about how the Industrial Revolution impacted wages, which is an important part of tourism, right? Because if people suddenly now don't have to work on the farm, they can now go travel for shorter periods of time, and they also have more money by working in factories and having rights over time. So people had more discretionary income to spend. Anyway, once you find a video, and I do highly recommend you do watch the video that you are putting into the mind maps. Like, make sure it's interesting. It's giving us information that we would want to see and hear. This one's actually a pretty good video. You take the URL, you copy it, and you put it into the mind map the same way. Arrow, multimedia, video. This time the URL does work. You just copy and paste the YouTube video you want, and look at that. It has the title that I made, the heading, and there's the video that I can watch right
from appalling working conditions
right
and a
on
want of
my timeline. Now, come on, tell me that's not cool that you can put videos and images right on this timeline. Still not impressed? Okay, one more cool feature. You also don't have to save. That's right, unlike ArcGIS, this saves automatically like a Google Doc, and so you can exit, as I will do, and then you can come back in. And a reminder for those of you who don't know, you can get Mindomo through our Brightspace page, or just going in through Mindomo and clicking Google Sign In, and there it will be under your created items, history of tourism, and look at that, it has saved automatically. My video and my pictures are still there. So at the end of the day, you will have 10 different events at least, with some visuals, maybe some color coordinated dates, and just make it interesting, make it exciting and fun to learn about. And for that level 4, give me 2 pieces of information, 2 ideas that are different from what we've talked about in class, that are also important to the development of history. Do your research, look at some YouTube videos, find something interesting that we haven't talked about, share your knowledge. Most of all, have fun and realize this tool is available to you for all of your courses, so that you can organize ideas and present them in yet another interesting way.